Welcome to the David and Hillary Show.
Today we have show and tell from David's latest trip to West Virginia.
That's right. And then we're going to talk about the new movie Freakier Friday starring Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis.
And in honor of that movie, we are going to now switch bodies and we're going to be each other for the rest of the podcast.
No.
Aww.
No, we're not.
But I thought you should try to be me for a day. I think that you should.
I'm sure being you for a day is very hard, and I give you credit for that, but I don't need to experience it to know that. And it's not possible. But besides, I don't want to be you. I want you to be you.
Whatever. I thought you were supposed to be the fun one. Let's do this.
All right. Well, since we have decided to do the episode as ourselves.
That's right.
Which I think is the wise choice.
Or did we?
We did. I will go ahead and start by talking about my trip to West Virginia. So it started out as one of those things that you kind of, wish you never have to do. I went for a funeral. My Aunt Thelma passed away at the age of 91.
Yep.
And she was someone that we loved and all our kids loved. She was a great member of the family. In fact, my father is the youngest of 9 kids, and she was the only girl. Yeah. Dad was about 20 years younger than his oldest siblings, and so it was kind of one of those families where, there's a lot of interesting dynamics when everybody's spread out by that many years. But as the youngest, he is now the sole remaining member of all of his siblings. My oldest 3 uncles served in World War II. So
wow.
Proud of them. But anyway, Aunt Thelma was wonderful and hosted us many, many years when we came to town in Parkersburg, West Virginia for the family reunion.
Mm-hmm. Some of our favorite memories.
Yeah. The kids always loved going there and being with her. There was a lot of love in that house. So
yeah,
it was, she was in failing health, and it was time, and she's in a better place. We know that she's in heaven, and so we're happy for her for that. But it was a trip to have memories, and it was good in that regard, but sad to say goodbye to her. And then what I had wanted to do, which I had oddly never done before, all the years that we went to West Virginia for family reunion, we went kind of straight there and straight back. I think there was one exception to that.
Right.
But for the most part, we had work and we had things going on, and we kind of had to get there and get back. And
Kids had things. Everybody had schedules. We were just busy. Yeah.
Well, West Virginia is known as being wild and wonderful. And even though we would always go and just be in town and at a park for the reunion,
right,
there are some really beautiful natural places in West Virginia, and I pretty much have never been to any of them, even though I've felt connected to that state for 60 years.
That's really incredible if you think about that.
Yeah.
All those years, because we've talked about it so many times. We wish we could stop. We wish we had more time.
Right. So we're not going to get into all the reasons, but I was the only one from our family here in Tennessee that was able to go to the funeral. And so I just decided that I was going to take an extra day on the way back, and not a week or whatever, but just to try to go see some of the cool things in West Virginia. And so I made a plan, but also when you're trying to keep moving and you've never been to these places before, it's tough to kind of know what you really want to see or don't see, or how long you want to spend. And so it was kind of like I gave myself a lot of grace. Well, I'll just figure it out as I go. So I had written down Kanawha Falls, but decided that I probably wasn't going to stop there. Well, I didn't realize that the viewing area for Kanawha Falls is literally right off of the road that I had to be on to go to the next place that I had decided I did want to go. Yeah. And I saw the sign. Here's the sign. And I pulled over and parked, and I just didn't think I was going to get very good shots. And so I just took my cell phone down to the edge of the water And you can see here, there was a guy fishing down there. I didn't really talk to him. He didn't talk to me. I didn't get a good shot of his face, so his privacy is protected. But anyway, this was Kanawha Falls. And so you can see it's kind of a beautiful place. The river just kind of down in between the mountains and a little community there. And these are natural falls, and they've, I think on the left there, they have made somewhat of a dam. I didn't get to really stay and study it a whole lot, but part of it looks natural and part of it I think is man-made. But then you can see, I wish I would have taken my good camera down there, but I just was concerned about the timing. So these aren't as sharp and clear as I would like, but it's kind of a cool, kind of a cool place. And then here I think I zoomed in one more time. So yeah, really you can see there the dam and the rocks. So a combination of man-made and natural falls. So it's a beautiful place. I wish I'd gotten better pictures, but again, I was kind of nervous. So I hopped back in the car and took off through the mountains of West Virginia. Normally when we do something like this and we're on an adventure, you're the navigator. And so I am by myself, and is the GPS going to catch everything? Am I going to get lost? You know, I was like, I got to.
You even have a good signal to use your GPS.
Surprisingly, I had a pretty good signal almost the entire time, which, I mean, I was really in the mountains. Yeah. So I was surprised, but thankful for that. Next stop was Cathedral Falls. I didn't get a picture of the sign there. It was kind of busy. A lot of people were coming and going out of the parking lot. And there were a lot of people there at the falls. The falls were underwhelming. I think what I read was this was the tallest falls in West Virginia.
Okay.
And this is just a portion of it here. This is the bottom. And it went into a real shallow pool there and then trickled down. And behind where I'm standing, there's more falls. But it was just, there hadn't been a ton of rain. And so...
Still the tallest.
Yeah.
Just
still technically falls and still tall.
Underwhelming.
Here's a picture of more or less the whole thing.
That is pretty in its own way, though.
And it was a challenge to pull a decent photograph out of this because the upper part was just, the sun was hitting it so hard it was almost a glare, and then the bottom was in the shade.
Yeah,
so
I can see the different.
I worked hard to get that good of a picture of it, but I have been to Cathedral Falls, and it was, I mean, it's kind of pretty in its own way if you like a trickling falls.
Yeah, like I said, its own kind of beauty.
Right. So back on the road and on my way to another place that I knew was several miles down the road, but I was making pretty good time, and I felt like the light was still good. I saw this sign, Hawk's Nest Overlook. I didn't know about that. I hadn't.
Let's be honest. You saw gift shop snacks. Can we just say it like it is?
I mean, we're recording this in August, and the days are still fairly long, but it was after hours, and it was on a Saturday. It wasn't a Sunday. It was a Saturday, but it was after hours. So all of that was closed, although the bathrooms were still open, which was nice.
That's nice.
But I pulled over, parked, got my good camera, my tripod, and I went over, and there's usually, a big sign at the trailhead that kind of gives you information about what you're about to do. Mm-hmm. And it had a lot of information about the surrounding area in general, but I couldn't find any information about that trail in specific. And I thought, I haven't looked this up. I haven't researched it. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So, another family was coming up, and I asked them if they'd been there before. Yeah. I said, well, how long is this trail? I only have a certain amount of time. And they said, oh, no, the whole loop is like 10 minutes. It's just right around that corner is the overlook. I was like, okay, thank you.
Were they young and fit?
They were probably
10 minutes.
The parents were probably 45.
Okay.
Yeah. But they were right. I mean, it was right around the corner.
Okay.
So went around the corner, and there were really two views. The first one that I came to, you can see here, was down. So Hawk's Nest, it was up high, and you're looking down.
Wow. Yeah.
This is the Hawk's Nest Dam. And I think Hawk's Nest is actually the name of that community around there.
Okay.
So when they added all this stuff, they named it from what it was. The New River is the river that's flowing through there up to the dam, and then a little bit on the other side. The New River was formed years ago when they dammed up some areas and put a river where there wasn't one.
Okay.
Kind of like when we were in Lake Chattooga in Georgia. That
Yeah.
was a man-made lake. This is a similar thing. And so in this picture, you're kind of looking due south, and it is a little later in the afternoon, so you can kind of tell from the light there. It's not all getting down into the deeper places, but I thought that was kind of a cool shot. And then the next one here, this is the same area, but with a horizontal shot showing a little bit more of the sky and the surrounding area. So
I love the lighting in the clouds.
right.
And again, with the valleys, you get that different look where the shadows are starting to form.
Yeah, and if you look to the lower left, there's railroad tracks going through there. I wish I would have seen a train, but I didn't. But
Yeah, it looks like you have railroad on the left and then a road on the right.
road on the
possibly?
right, I think. I don't
Yeah.
know if just anybody can go on that road or not.
Okay.
Didn't get that far in my investigating. But picked up all my equipment, moved probably 50 feet to the left, and then we have this other view looking
It's beautiful.
looking southeast. The first view was almost due south. This is southeast, and that bridge on the water is a railroad bridge. It's the C&O New River Bridge at Hawk's Nest.
Okay.
And so, and again, that's the New River coming through there. And it's not that new. It was
Yeah.
years ago that they did this, but that's what they called it. So
That's really creative.
think if I'd
what
been
do you
in
want to
that-
name the river? Well, I mean, it's new.
Yeah.
New river.
I think
maybe.
if I'd been in that meeting, I would have said, it's not going to be new forever, guys.
Right. Maybe we should rethink this.
But that's what they called it. So this shot shows a little more sky, and then I took another shot that shows a little more of the water.
Yeah, I love the sky reflected in the water.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I like them both. I've been trying to decide which one I like more. Do you have a vote?
I think the one just before this one.
You like the more sky?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
I think I've been going back and forth.
It's hard to pick a favorite.
I think I like the more river.
Yeah, when I see him, like at the doctor, you're like A or B, A or B.
And you kind of want to go, which one should I like
I
better?
know. I like them both, but you're probably right. This one it's beautiful.
Right. Well, I got back on the road and kept driving, and eventually came to the destination that I was looking most forward to on Saturday, which was Babcock State Park.
Again, gift shop. I see gift shop on there.
Yeah, again, it was closed,
Ugh.
so no souvenirs for me.
Or me.
That's right. But within the Babcock State Park is the Glade Creek Grist Mill. So you can see the mill here in the back. West Virginia has had a couple slogans through the year. Almost Heaven, which is from the John Denver song. And then Wild and Wonderful is the other one that I'm the most familiar with. So I thought that was kind of cool. They had a swing there, and you can see random people on the swing.
Yeah,
But
that's a great picture.
this next picture is a really good shot of the grist mill, and you could see the water is so low in the foreground that they weren't running it over the wheel. But from everything I researched, this is operational, and they do have people bring grain and stuff in there, and they do
Really?
actually use it when the water's high.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to watch them do that.
It would.
I like a good field trip.
Well, I'm hoping to go back this fall when the leaves change, because I've seen pictures of this in the fall, and it's really amazing.
Yeah. Let's go when the gift shops are open.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah. Snack shops.
Well, this particular mill was, as I was reading about it, mills in the U.S., water mills, kind of went out of style in the 1950s. But this one was built in 1976, and it was built out of parts salvaged from other nearby mills. Like the wheel
Really?
came from one, and some of the boards came from another, and So it was kind of cool. And then the fact that they've kept it operational.
Right. Now, I would have thought it was a lot older than that.
So, yeah. Well, they wanted it to look classic and charming and all of that. So,
Sure.
well, so this is not even the best. Well, this is probably the best view of the mill itself. But I went to get photographs because I had seen, and I love waterfalls, seen the mill with waterfalls. So I went down. They had a fairly easy way to get down to the water below the mill, and then I rock hopped out and got this shot.
Oh, beautiful.
So this is I've seen photos where like that whole shelf has got water coming over it, and I'm guessing after a big rain. So if we get to go back, maybe we'll get lucky with the water, but
Yeah.
it's still beautiful. And
Were those shots mostly in the spring? You know, when you...
the ones I've seen
the
mostly have been
full
in the
water.
fall because the fall leaves are so beautiful. Those are mostly the ones people post.
So they had a fall picture and all the water. Like that was
And more.
possible.
Well, some of them were fall with little water. Some of them were fall with a lot of water.
Okay.
Probably
So there's a chance.
taken different times. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I took this photo and edited it to get this look here, which I also like
Yeah.
in the
Very
vertical
nice.
format.
Really nice.
Yeah. Well, I moved over some. I always try to see how many different shots I can get. There was a third waterfall over to the left, so I really liked that one. And then here's more of a vertical looking straight on and getting more rocks in the foreground. Again, just to try to get different looks and try to see how I could mix it up and make it look different. None of these, though, matched the composition of the photos that I had seen other people do.
Okay.
And so I went further back, and in this video, you can see there's a little grassy knoll out here in kind of jutted out into the water. And I was trying to go down there and get a picture of the waterfalls in the mill, but you can't see the mill from there.
Right.
So then I put water shoes on and walked out into the water, and I got a few feet out, but then it got pretty deep. And I was like, I'm not trying to go in all the way up to my waist, and I don't think I'm trying to do that. So then you can see in this next video, I've got technical difficulties here for just a second. Have a hard time talking about it without seeing it. But in this next video, you're going to see I'm trying to figure out where to stand in order to get the shots that I've seen other people get. Check out this wall in the distance. That'll come into play later. But on downstream here, there's a man-made dam where the water flows over. And I thought, well, maybe I could walk out across the top of the dam and stand at the far end and get a shot. And so you can see here that it's falling. It's about, I estimated it at about 9 feet. And the water on the downside is not very deep. So if you slip and fall, probably there goes my camera equipment, and probably could get injured. So here's a still of that top of the dam, and you can see that kind of yellowish stuff on there. That's algae. So I thought, well, let me just stand up on there and see what it's really like. And actually, it wasn't that bad as far as slipperiness. And so I'm holding my camera and tripod are connected, so I only really have to carry one thing. And I did like the old man stutter step, shuffle step, very carefully all the way out to the other side, and set up my tripod. And you can see here again, kind of the same still that we saw in the video, but trying not to fall. There's also not enough room width-wise on the top of that dam for me to open up the legs of my tripod and
Right.
I mean, they don't fit. It's like
Right.
this wide, and my tripod goes this wide. It actually goes this wide or this wide. It has 2 settings. So you can pull the legs in tighter, but they're not locked.
Yeah.
They're loose. And if things are slippery and if it moves while I'm taking a shot, excuse me, there's going to be movement on the image. So is this even going to work?
Right.
I'm all the way out there. I'm kind of thinking,
Did you carry the tripod out there?
carried the camera attached to the tripod
Okay.
all the way out there. And at that point, it's kind of deep if I fell in toward the mill, and a 9-foot drop with very shallow water and shelf rock under it on the downside. And I'm like, okay, well, I made it all the way out here. I might as well go ahead and try to figure this out.
Get the picture.
So I'm very carefully setting up the legs of the tripod and getting them. They're not locked in, but they're where they're going to be. And then adjusting the camera and getting everything set up with the settings that I want, and so that I can actually see it, see what's happening. And so then I take this picture. And
Okay.
yeah,
Rando in the shot.
brother man is out there
What?
messing up my shot. I'm like, I came all the way
Oh,
out
my
here to get
goodness.
this shot.
You're balancing on that ledge.
Yeah.
Trying to get everything perfect. And there
I'm
he
like,
is.
bro, well,
He's like, these falls are beautiful. I'm just going to stand right here.
so it's loud. Even though we're talking about how there wasn't a ton of water, it's enough water that it makes noise down there where he is. But it also, that dam, the water falling right where I am, that's making noise.
Right. I'm not there to help you.
No, so I just waited to see, like, is he going to take a couple shots and leave? Well, he took a couple shots, and he took a couple more shots, and he kind of adjusted some things and took a couple more shots. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to yell at him while he's taking a shot. But when he kind of pulled his head up and started adjusting things again, I finally just yelled, hey! And he stopped, and he's looking around. He doesn't know I'm there, and he would have no reason to know that I'm there, or any reason to think anybody would be out there on the far end of that dam trying to get a picture.
Yeah.
I yelled again, and he turned most of the way around, and I'm waving as big as I can to try to get his attention, and he sees me, and he's like, oh. And I said, hey, I don't know if he can hear my words or not. He heard my yell at least.
Yeah.
I said, can you give me 2 minutes? Can you get out of my shot? And he's like, oh, and he just looks really like I didn't expect this. I'm not really sure
Yeah.
what to do.
Like, my wife won't let me go out there.
so I'm like, yeah, my wife's not here. So he grabs his tripod and he kind of walks out of the shot. And so then I got the shot without him in it.
Nice.
And I was pretty happy with that. And I took 2 shots. This one was the one that I ended up processing.
It's really
And then
beautiful.
and then I said, okay, you're awesome. Thank you. You can come back now. So he like waved again. He was quite a bit younger than me. He kind of waved like, okay, crazy person.
Yeah.
And then I kind of shut my camera all back up and did the old man shuffle step back all the way across the top of the dam. But this is still, even though that's not a bad picture, that's not the one that I'd seen everybody else getting, and it didn't show the full mill as much
Does
as
the next shot involves a zip line or
well.
anything crazy?
So I hopped in the car because I had seen there was a road that went around the mill. The parking lot was here to the left of
Okay.
the picture you just saw. It's to the left of the mill. But I had seen there's a road that goes all the way around. Excuse me. So I hop into the car and I go around the mill, and I'm looking for signs that say you can't drive down here, although I had seen other cars driving down there. And no, there's nothing. And so I drive down, and there's a little pull off as I'm coming back this way. It's to my left. And I'm like, okay, well, I could do that, or I could turn around and then pull into the pull off, because the pull off is on my left. So I start to go down a little further, and then I realize I don't know where this road goes. Mm-hmm. This road may go 5 miles with no turnaround or whatever. So I stopped. There's nobody behind me. I back up. I back into the turnaround, and I'm decided I'm going to just turn my car around here. And then when I'm done, I'll retrace my steps and go back out.
Yeah.
So, well, the turnarounds, the turnoff, pull off, whatever it is, isn't very big. It's not really a turnaround. It's just a pull off. And on the opposite side, which is the down from the dam canyon part of the river, the road just drops off. So I back up, I back into the pull off, and then I have to do like a 37-point turn in order to make it work. Not really, but it was probably 3 or 4 times that I had to pull up and back. And the road on the where the pull off was lower than the road enough that when I backed up and then had to go forward, the car didn't want to go up over the curb. I had to give it a little gas and then slam on the brakes so I didn't go down the cliff. Things you do when your wife's not with you.
I was going to say, we would totally have been taking the 5-mile road somewhere. Like, eventually we will turn around.
Like, the screaming in the car is not worth the short way of doing things. So I got all turned around and got parked in the pull-off. And then I thought, well, I had seen some people down below the dam. And I thought, well, there must be a good view down there. So I walked down with my camera. And this is the view below the dam. So it shows you again, it doesn't really tell you the scale, but that's about 9 feet.
Okay.
The wall there for the dam. But you can see you can't get in. If I go any further down, I can't see anything. If I shoot from there, there's all this foliage to the right. So I can't really see the waterfalls very well. I can't really see the mill. So that's not it. So I took a picture just to show what was not a rewarding experience.
Yep.
I went back up to the road and walked a little further down. And earlier when I showed you the video and I said, keep track of this wall, that's going to come into play later. So it was up above that wall that I found the perspective that everyone else gets, where you have a pretty good view of all the width of the creek. This is Glade Creek. All the waterfalls, the Glade Creek grist mill, you can see as much of the mill as you're going to see. And you can see the wheel with that rusty red, which is pretty cool. And so I was really happy with, I don't even know if that's my favorite picture, but I worked really hard to figure out how to get to the vantage point from which the picture that everyone else was getting, that I was seeing, that was so cool. How do I get that? And I finally figured it out. And I think it's a nice shot, but
almost looks like the tree on the left is starting to turn just a little bit.
Although
just heat stress, maybe.
Maybe from what I've seen in the fall, I think there's a lot of that turns red. So nothing looks like it's turning red, but
wow,
we'll see if this fall gives us a chance to go back. It would be fun to go back together. There's so many cool things to see. And that's, I think I spent enough time on my trip for this episode.
It was a great trip, though. I mean, and really, like you said, you've waited so many years to just have the time to go and just to not have an agenda, just to go explore and take some pictures. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Dave.
Well, thank you. I have more. I will show that in the next episode.
Awesome.
I went from Babcock State Park to a hotel, and then the next morning I got up early and found some more cool stuff and then drove home. That was a long day.
Yeah. Yes.
But that was the adventure for Saturday. And now we're going to talk about Freakier Friday.
All right. What did we say? This is going to be like a 3-hour podcast?
No, not really. But if you like movies like we like movies, then you're going to want to check this out. We are going to also be putting out a short form, like 5 to 7 minute preview of Freakier Friday, where we will talk about it quickly, mention any content warnings if there are any, and just for people that want to know whether or not they want to see the movie without any spoilers. We are going to talk about spoilers though in this episode. So don't want you to tune out, but we do want you to be aware of what we're about to talk about. We like the movie a lot, and we're going to talk about the new movie, and we're going to also do a little bit of compare and contrast between this one and the one that came out 22 years ago.
Yep.
Freaky Friday with
2003.
Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah.
Yep. Well, let's take a minute and let's show the trailer real quick.
Okay. Let's do it.
Sounds good.
Morning. Happy wedding week. You have a lot on your plate. Let us know how we can help.
Maybe someone could help me write my wedding vows.
How about this? I, Anna, take you, Eric, a man whose daughter is a little demon thing with an obnoxious accent.
What is taking so long? We wouldn't want to be off schedule, innit? My bachelorette party will be good bonding for everyone.
You two are called to be family.
Yeah, right. Don't remind me.
You've walked in each other's path. You learned a lesson that may serve you again.
Okay, that's enough.
Thank you very much.
One more thing. Right over there is a QR code that you can tip me with. Change the hearts you know are wrong to reach the place where you belong.
Oh my God, what is happening? Okay, it's who am I? It's me. It's Mom. If you're me and I'm you, then who's that? I'm Grandma, sweetheart. Yeah!
Last time we convinced everyone that we were each other until we switched back.
I didn't want to be a part of this family, and now I'm part of some dodgy family curse. And I'm the eldest.
As teenagers, we have no power. But as adults,
We can break our parents up for good. All you have to do is reunite her with her first love. Very good. Flip your hair. Good. Big moves. Bite your lip. Not your top lip, your bottom lip.
I know what this is. You're having a stroke.
No, I just need to go to the bathroom. I was really bad at that. So bad at that. Any other ideas? Let's just get back out there. Otherwise, he'll think I'm pooping.
Too late.
Nice car.
It's totally mine.
She thinks you're cute.
I do not.
Yes, she does.
I do.
She so does.
Dr. Coleman?
Oh my God, go.
That's my therapist.
All right, and we're back.
Yes. So the original Freaky Friday from 2003 starred Lindsay Lohan as Anna Coleman and Jamie Lee Curtis as her mother, Dr. Tess Coleman, Mark Harmon as Ryan, and Chad Michael Murray, sorry, Chad, as Jake. And now 22 years later, in the 2025 Freakier Friday, we have all those same people playing all the same roles. And then as Harper Coleman, Lindsay Lohan's character's daughter, we have Julia Butters. And then introducing in this universe anyway, the character of Eric Reyes, who is Anna Coleman, or Lindsay Lohan's love interest. That's played by Manny Jacinto. And then Eric Reyes' daughter, Lily Reyes, is played by Sophia Hammonds.
Yeah.
So that was much more complicated than I thought it was going to be. But
Yeah.
those are the main characters in the movie. And yeah, we thought the original was funny, and we really wanted to see this one. And it was funnier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. And the basic idea is very similar. The idea that the mom and the daughter don't get along. They switch bodies to experience each other's lives, which helps them to understand each other. But this one, the switch up is a little more complicated.
Yeah.
Because you've got the grandma, the mom, the daughter, and the soon-to-be stepdaughter.
Right.
And so grandma and mom switch places. No, sorry.
No.
So, see, I'm already confused. Grandma switches places
Grandma and
with stepdaughter,
change places, and then
mom and
daughter as the Lindsay Lohan's character and her daughter switch places. So
multiple generations.
Yeah.
They wanted everything they said to be a little freakier, everything a little bit more, which it was, and it was funnier. I thought it was great.
Well, I will say IMDb's viewer reviews always crack me up, because You get people that'll give it the exact same number rating, but one of them loves it and one of them hates it. It's so good, I thought it deserved a 6. And the next person is, it was so bad, it doesn't deserve any more than a 6.
Yeah.
And you're like, you people have no clue what you're even talking about.
Yeah.
I thought there were people that said about this that it was too complicated, that they couldn't even really keep up. They didn't know what was happening. And there were other people who said, it was a funny premise, but it wasn't enough more involved than the original one. It kind of just, we think it fell flat. And so I just,
Yeah.
well, so this is our review. So what we thought was that it was a little more complicated, but they pulled it off.
Yeah.
The actors, along with the script writer and of course the director, made it so that if you could follow along, which I didn't think was that difficult, you'd have to remind yourself sometimes that when you see Jamie Lee Curtis, she's playing the soon-to-be stepdaughter in Jamie Lee Curtis's body. And so, but you have to remind yourself that that's happening, but that's part of the fun of it. That's what makes it so great. That's what makes it different than most other movies. And
they did such a great job of, like, when Jamie Lee Curtis was supposed to be Lily, I mean, there's no doubt, because she's changing all of her clothes. She's changing her hair. She gave her bangs. She's cutting off her sleeves. She's got the lip plumper going.
oh my gosh.
So it's
hilarious.
not hard to remember. Like, that's not really Grandma Tess.
Right.
That's Lily freaking out because she's in this old person body.
Yeah.
So that was super fun.
Well, I thought all 4 of the actresses did a good job with that. Then, and like you said, Lindsay Lohan, kind of the same way. She was dressing more like a teenager.
Yes.
To show that what was happening, that it was her daughter in her body. But I thought the younger girls both did a really good job of trying to portray the older women and being more reserved and changing their kind of hairstyles, or at least the character of Harper did, and being more reserved. And I thought it was pretty convincing.
Well, and even Sophia, when she's supposed to be Grandma, she even had like the little glasses on the chain, and she was all buttoned up with kind of like a suit little thing and a cute little hat, and she did look kind of grandmotherly. I thought they did great. And was it Harper? She straightened her hair. She looked beautiful. Like she was beautiful either way. But yeah, she when her mom was in her body, she's like, "Oh, I've been wanting to straighten your hair. I've been wanting to wash your hair and straighten it for years."
Yeah, and she was into surfing. She said, "Well, I don't need to wash it. The ocean washes it for me," which is a total teenager thing to say.
Yeah.
All right. So, what were some of your favorite parts?
Oh boy. I mean, I think you're going to talk about this later, but one of the things I did love was, of course, each of the movies opens with the mom knocking on the door, trying to get the daughter out of bed.
Right.
Which so many parents, I'm sure, have that experience.
We sure did.
We did, but what I loved is in the new movie, Harper's not even in her room.
Right.
It's not that she's trying to wake her up. She's already been up. She's out. She's surfing with friends in the ocean, and. Number one, I just thought, wow, would that be so cool to live that close and to have the ability to be a surfer?
Right.
And it reminded me of when we went on vacation to Gulf Shores a few years ago.
Yeah.
And as we were driving towards the beach, there was literally a sign on the side of the road that said, "Beach, straight ahead. High school, turn right." And I'm like, I am so glad that our children never had to make that choice.
Right.
Would we have ever gotten anybody in school? So I just thought, I mean, would I have ever gone to school? I would have gone to the beach. No, I wouldn't have, because I was not fun then. I'm
You
more
were
fun
responsible.
now. I'm so responsible, but now I would probably go to the beach. Because I've lived with you for 33 years. And you are the fun one, actually. So I really liked that. I, of course, loved the scene where she's trying to flirt with Jake. Harper is in her mom's body, and she thinks if she can just flirt with Jake, that will break up the wedding, and then they don't have to be, family. And she has no idea how to do it. But again, just Lindsay Lohan as, Harper, fabulous. Just the awkwardness. You feel all of the awkwardness as she's doing this. I love when people can act badly on purpose. Very funny.
Well, in that scene too, the Jamie Lee Curtis playing Lily in Tessa's body was holding up. They had earbuds in, they're talking to each other that no one else could hear, and she was trying to be inconspicuous.
Right.
And so she kept holding up. There was a record shop, album covers in front of her face, and all the album covers that she held up were albums of female artists that particular album cover, some of which are very famous, was mostly the woman's head.
Yes.
And so she kept lifting up other women's heads and to be like her excuse me, her face, their faces, their head. It's that headshot if you're into photography.
Very funny.
And one of the first ones she holds up is Britney Spears, and then during at least part of that scene, they're playing the Britney Spears song, excuse me, Baby One More Time. So that was funny. I think that I also saw Sade, Madonna, Sinead O'Connor. So that, I don't know if everybody catches that the first time they see it, but it was funny.
Is that the same song that Jake sings in the first one? What does he sing?
Oh, I didn't catch that.
When he's serenading her in the window?
It might be.
I think that was it.
That's
Yeah,
right, because he sings "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time,"
Right.
and then she basically tackles him.
Right. Yeah. So that was a very cute tie-in.
Yeah.
I love
There were
that.
a lot of tie-ins. I'm going to address those in a minute, but
Yeah. So you asked me about my favorite parts.
yeah.
And this was the same in the first movie in 2003. They did this a little bit where Jamie Lee Curtis in her daughter's body realizes she can eat French fries.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh, I haven't had these for 8 years. But they do this in the second movie too. And I think now that I'm older, 22 years later, at the first movie I was 33. And now I'm almost 55. And so I know what they're saying when they're like, there's just certain foods you can't eat all the time. So I
Right.
love the scenes where Julia Butters as her mom and Sophia Hammonds as grandma, they realize I think they actually say, we have metabolisms again. Like they go by a burger place. They're like, I mean, I know we're supposed to be on this quest, but let's stop. And so they stop and they have burgers and they have fries. And then they're like, sugar. They have the cotton candy and the churros and just the joy of being able to eat foods that they've been trying to avoid for years. Like you can eat them, but you'll get sick.
Right.
And so, and then also right after that scene, they're riding their little scooters. They had the choice to pick the really super cool motorcycles, but they're like, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
But because they're old people, they got on the scooters. But then they get into an accident with the scooters and they're flying off and tripping over the cart. And they get up and they're like, I didn't break anything. We're like, we're invincible.
Yeah.
And so just, as someone who is getting a little bit older, those scenes were very funny. I remember the first time I went into a roller skating rink after I wasn't like a teenager, and I thought, I could break something here. So you do have to think about it.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. Well, telling this a little bit out of order, this was much earlier in the movie, but talking about the age thing, I thought Jamie Lee Curtis did a great job in this scene, but also being willing to make fun of herself when the switch initially happens and they realize who they actually are, what body they're in.
Yeah.
So this is supposed to be Lily in Jamie Lee Curtis's or Tessa's body. But of course, the actress, Jamie Lee Curtis, is looking at herself in the mirror and going on and on and on about how old she is and like slams on, like I look like a leather handbag that was left out in the weather. And and you just think about a person in her 70s.
Yeah.
making fun of herself with wrinkles and all the things. And I just thought that was pretty cool for her to be.
Yeah. What a great sense of humor.
Yeah. You got to be able to make fun of yourself. Well, I noticed a lot of similarities and some differences between the two movies. So here it is. Sorry, we're trying to find our place in the notes. So several similarities and a couple differences, but at the beginning of both movies, somebody has a lot of trouble getting out of bed.
Yeah.
And they play it kind of similarly. At school drop-off, somebody says, make good choices. That's in both movies. In both movies, the whoever's in high school at the time goes to detention either with or because of the same teacher played by the same actor.
Right.
Mr. Eldon Bates. The band members, Pink Slip, are the same in both movies, and they also do their own singing in both movies, if you didn't know that.
It was so fun to hear them again.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yep. And then the owners of the Chinese restaurant in the first one are back in the second one, and they're still involved in doing catering, although not involved in the switch this time. It happens differently. The switch in the first movie was kind of cute in the way that it happened. And the second movie, it was kind of scary. Not scary for us.
Right.
But
it was a little disturbing for me.
The movie makers decided to have the fortune teller who's responsible for it in the second movie use kind of an evil voice. And then she tries to joke about it afterwards and say, oh, I didn't even know I could make that voice. But
right.
They didn't need to do that. It didn't seem like it really fit the whole rest of the movie, which was pretty lighthearted and fun.
Yeah, it seemed out of place. I will say that was the one thing I thought, I wish they would have taken that out. I wish they would have done that differently. But
right.
But they were trying to make her a very funny character. But when she said...
She was funny.
But then, I mean, that obviously made it seem like it wasn't her voice. And if it's not her voice, then to me, that seems like it's getting into even freakier things.
Dark spiritual things that we're not interested in.
Yep.
All right. So in the first movie, when Anna gets a makeover in Tessa's body, she puts on a green, colorful dress, and Jake falls for Tess. He thinks he's really falling for Anna in Tessa's body, but he thinks he's falling for Tess, and she's wearing that dress during that part of the movie. At the end of the second movie, Jake comes to Anna's wedding, and his date at the wedding looks very similar to how Jamie Lee Curtis looked when she was playing Tess in the first movie.
Yeah.
And has a very similar haircut, and his date is wearing the exact same dress that Tess was wearing in the first movie.
Yep.
It's pretty funny. And then Tess in the second movie, Jake introduces them to his date, and Tess says, oh, I like your dress.
Yeah, nice dress.
So there were quite a few callbacks. That was fun. In the first movie, excuse me, Anna in Tessa's body crowd surfs at the TV author's interview. And then in the second movie, Eric crowd surfs at the Ella / Pink Slip concert. I don't know why I can't talk. But you don't see that much crowd surfing in movies, and so they did that both times.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then both weddings in both movies get, quote, postponed because of craziness, but not really. You think they're going to. That's one of the, you have to have conflict in every movie. And so you're like, oh, we've gone through all this stuff, and are they going to switch back in time for the wedding? And then you think, oh, no, everything's just falling completely apart, and someone actually says that maybe the wedding's not going to happen in both movies.
Well, in both times it was the groom-to-be out of love for the family saying, we should probably put pause on this because he's concerned about it. So.
Right. And in both movies, someone says, quote, youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah.
Which I remember from Jimmy Stewart says that in It's a Wonderful Life. Oh, no, he doesn't say it. I'm sorry. The old man on the porch watching
Right.
the young people. Anyway,
Yep.
that saying's been around for a long time. So it was funny that they put that in both movies.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, they both were very family friendly, very funny.
Yeah.
I recommend going back and watching the first one so that
Right.
you can kind of refresh before you go watch the second one, so you can catch all those callbacks. But at the end of the day, it's really about, we were joking about switching places and becoming each other, but even in our talk on communication,
Right.
we should do a talk on pronunciation.
We should.
Because that's not our strength today.
Not today.
But just to be thinking about other people. What are they going through? What is their life like? To have some kind of compassion, right?
Yeah.
For other people.
Compassion for where someone else is at.
Yeah.
Because you get so caught up in your own life and your own perspective that it's hard sometimes to see that other person's perspective. So
also beware of fortune cookies.
Well,
right?
always. But I always wonder when movie makers make a movie, are they just making it for a cash grab? Or are they really trying to make a piece of art?
Mm-hmm.
Are they trying to make a statement? And it could be more than one of those. But I like in both of these movies that it feels like they are trying to make a comedy movie that people will like, and hopefully it does well at the box office. But they're also trying to say, hey, think about other people's perspectives and don't get so caught up in your own life that you refuse to be empathetic and to see where other people are coming from and listen to them. And then when the mom and the daughter, daughter's trying to say, you don't understand what my life is like. And mom's like, I've been there. It can't be that different.
Right. And it is hard.
It is hard. And it was proven it is different. So
That's right.
yeah. Well, so we liked them both, whether you watch this without having seen Freakier Friday or even having seen Freaky Friday from 2023. We recommend both movies, and we thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the little trip through West Virginia, and we will share a little more of that next time as well. But for now, thanks for joining us. We appreciate your time, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.